From the bottom, we out here getting it. Don't know what a limit is. Only surround yourself with people you plan to finish with. Consistency the key, unlock the door to your dreams. Prepare, plan, and execute, complete, and then repeat.
What up? Back with another episode of From the Bottom podcast. As always, it's your host Fitz. We got Ty.
Bless up.
We got Shalisha.
Hello.
We got Tati.
Hey,
how you doing? Say something, fool. Dang.
All right. And as always, we got our awkward introduction, but we getting better. We getting better.
My dog said.
Right?
Whatever works.
Like some people don't watch a podcast; they just listen to it.
Yeah, some people don't watch it. So for all those people just listening, she was just holding up 2 peace signs. But she does that in real life too.
Right, that's her. Let her be her authentic self.
Whenever we go to a drive-through, she always got to be extra. When she's talking to somebody, she got to make a hand movement. She got to go, oh. It's like.
Girl, we love you just the way you are.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I love you, girl, just the way you are. I love how just you are. Like, I love it. Keep that shit up. Don't let them.
You already cussing. Oh, we really trying to monetize this out here.
Okay, but I did good last episode.
No, you didn't.
You did not. You cut.
Good.
I feel
Good
like I
is
did.
not at all. That's good. Because we all are able to do it. And we cuss outside the podcast.
Not like,
No, y'all really don't.
Yes, we do.
Not like that.
Yes.
It's a whole nother level. You a good boy now. You better stop playing.
No, that's just an excuse to not control yourself.
Ooh.
We be cussing, we be talking about stuff.
I'm passionate about what I be talking about. That's all.
That's a lie.
Do you cuss in front of your clients at work?
No.
How are you able to control it there? You're not passionate.
We don't be talking about nothing.
Come on, you can still if you can control it in one place, I think you can control it any place. It's like
I mean, it's not like I don't slip up, but
I never have.
Really? You're so great.
Yeah, never on the podcast. We had another person before you cuss it up like it was nothing. So that's probably where you get it from, your genes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's in our blood. Don't tell me that.
We not about
that's not in Robert's blood.
Yeah, we not about to blame the genetics.
It's only the psychos.
The genetics.
Only the
I'm not a
psychos.
psycho. I'm not a psycho.
psychos.
I'm a very passionate person.
That's a lie.
I'm passionate too.
I'm just saying.
We ain't got to cuss to get it out though. You feel me?
I mean, it just comes.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, Tatiana, how was your week been? How are you,
great.
girl?
Thanks for asking.
I've been okay.
I wasn't.
Just chilling.
Look at the camera.
This guy.
I've been just
Hey, bro.
Cut. You need to leave her alone.
Try to live life and
Okay.
working on the YouTube, trying to get our subscribers up. Where y'all at with the subscriptions, please? If you watching this, hit that subscribe button, hit a like, throw something down in the comments, show some love. We need to know you're out there, you're watching. We're trying to, we're coming from the bottom. We're getting it out the mud. So, to show us some love.
That was the slowest shout out I've ever heard. You got to go in and say it.
Hey, my dog.
Make sure you subscribe, comment.
Girl, I love it.
Hey, sorry. Sound like somebody's grandma, bro.
He said we getting it out the mud.
I fell asleep by the time you got
get it
to
out the mud.
Hey, bro. Somebody grandma. We getting it out the mud.
She talking like she ready to go to sleep.
I know. Talking like
Shoot. I mean, I'm tired. Girl, it's Friday. I'm right there with you.
What you mean? The grind includes Friday. What you talking about?
Oh, mine includes Monday through a Sunday. So we right there.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Boy, look.
That's
no, it's not.
That's a lie.
No, it's not. No, we saving, bro. We saving. I don't get no off days. Shoot. We tired. I'm saying, got to. You got 2 months. Shoot.
How's everyone's entrepreneurship journey going?
Yeah, Shalisha, go ahead.
Good.
Got so
It's
much to
good.
say.
Mine's going good.
I had a Bang energy drink, and let me just tell
You tried it? Come on now.
I've been on it.
How is y'all
Look,
entrepreneur journey
okay,
going?
my entrepreneur journey is going great. We're starting the Texas real estate courses this weekend. In 2 months, we will be out of Vegas. See what I'm saying? Working, saving, making moves.
What kind of moves?
Yes. Moving out of state, moving
else?
forward in the real estate industry.
How you doing that?
Working full time, going to school for the classes. I'm getting my real estate license. I'm saving up to where I'm financially able to move,
How much
you
the
know,
class?
make sure all of my things. The one that I'm buying is $249, and then it's gonna be $100 for the test. So it's
How long
okay.
is
It's 180 hours. So, but it's all online, so it's pretty much at my pace. So we're gonna keep it going. We're about to have that Texas real estate license before I go out there. So when I get out there, we could just dive right into it.
I thought she was going to say Texas Roadhouse for a second.
Ooh,
Shout
no,
out
they
to
are
Baby Boss
bomb.
Real Estate Group.
There we go.
If you're in the DFW area, make sure you hit me up. If you need
This.
to buy a
Yes.
home. Crazy market.
And then in 2 months, hit me up too. There we go.
And in
We
2
just
months-
gotta get out there.
In 2 months, hit Shalisha up. And
If you want a Barbie house.
No, in 2 months, hit me up if you want somebody who's about to go all in for you. Period. I go above and beyond. I do that.
So I've
Check
heard.
my reviews, okay?
So I've heard.
you might get cussed out in the
No, not get cussed out. I promise you, I am.
Dang
the
it, didn't I
sweetest
tell
little
you?
thing.
yeah.
It was this price.
No,
We're
because
aiming
it's
people
about.
I'm passionate. I just want you to buy the house. Come on,
Look.
let me off the roof, man. I said no.
This is my first deal.
Passionate.
You mother ever.
No. Because when it comes to work, we don't mix our feelings with work.
You.
What are you doing?
You
See,
there.
now you like, what are you doing?
You.
See,
I'm talking to you watching this.
what in the world?
Everyone's talking about when to hit him up. I think I need to get this in. This is a good time. You gonna
Yes.
hit up Robert, hit up Shalisha, and on Tuesday at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, hit that subscribe button.
Damn.
I'm tripped.
Hit the
Do that.
button
Do that.
and hit the comment section.
And make sure
Yes.
you hit the button where you could play it faster when she talking.
But I mean, add in for that dramatic effect because we didn't know what she was gonna say, and then she hit it.
I
with
knew what she was gonna
perfect.
say.
She was
From the
Go,
mud.
Tati. Okay, go ahead, girl. How was your entrepreneur journey? Oh, entrepreneur journey, Robert.
My entrepreneur journey,
I chopped that. I'm sorry. I had
my
to admit that.
entrepreneur journey is going good. I'm training Tatiana to be the brand manager, social media marketing, showing her the ropes. I am working on the website for FITZMINDSET coaching.
Okay.
There's going to be the blog on there. So we're going to be doing regular blogs, just talking about entrepreneurship, mindset development, positivity, all those things. Then the podcast is going to be on there, so people will be able to look us up through the website, and then, you know, the SEO, the search engine optimization, people will be able to see more of the page and stuff like that. Just another place for the podcast to be as well. Another opportunity to monetize it. So that should be done within the week. I'm doing it all myself. So along with all the other things I'm juggling, that's why it's taking so long to get up. But what else? Also, one of my clients, they hit me up and they want to work with me to manage their Airbnb that they're doing.
Ooh,
So
do that.
yeah, so I'm gonna be taking on that as well, getting some knowledge and researching that and diving into that. So that's another stream of income. So looking forward to that. I just closed the deal. Was that last week? Yeah, that was last
Signing
week.
contracts all of 2021.
Yeah, that was last week, and then I think the 2 other ones should close in like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and yeah, I also put an ad out for the podcast
Nice.
on Facebook and
Nice.
running on Instagram. I put $10 on it. It's just running, just seeing. Right now, I'm just testing to see. I ran it for the whole United States, and I'm seeing which states and cities are gonna gravitate towards it more. And then I'll take $10, and then I'll turn that into $20 and put it towards those specific areas where people are watching it the most, and then just kind of put money in different pockets and see who's gravitating to it more, and then just get some more flow through the podcast. If people aren't gonna come to us, we got to go to them. So
there we go.
If people aren't coming to the YouTube channel, we're gonna be on your Facebook in your living room while you browsing stuff that you shouldn't be browsing. Okay, we're gonna be right there. Think of me.
We're gonna be on all the websites.
Yep. Think of Ty. Think of Shalisha. Think of Tati. Okay, don't think of Tati. All right. What about you, Tati?
Girl, nah, think of Tati all the way, because it don't get no better than Tati.
Oh, so you second then, I guess, huh? All right then. Everything good, bro. I'm trying to think, bro. I got a lot of stuff going on. I don't even know, bro. Still working towards going different places, different states. Making moves toward, get my degree. I'm about to get that in about 3 months, boy. I'm ready. Whew. Ready to be done with school. And then get more into those YouTube videos we talked about. And then the investing, like that Dogecoin, that thing running up, boy.
Now don't y'all start.
Running up, boy.
Okay.
Hey, hold on, bro.
They're
Hey,
about to get all in that
hold on, bro.
Dogecoin.
Hey, listen, bro. Listen.
I want to hear it.
Hey, listen, bro. Bro, this is part of the entrepreneurship, bro. Because listen, I put $15 in on this thing, and I've already made $200 off of it, bro.
Oh,
$15. That's it. And it's still, and this is the thing. This is what people don't understand is that
I gotta go check mine too.
it hasn't
Sit down.
it hasn't established like Bitcoin yet. So once it gets to that point, then people can hype it up. But right now, it's not there yet. But I'm making a lot more money because people are being stupid with it. So like Meek Mill, he bought $50,000 worth of Dogecoin.
right.
And that's making me money because it's jumping up. People are hyping it up more. It's already at 75 cents, I think, right now. So it's supposed to hit.
This morning.
It's supposed to hit $1, and then it's supposed to hit $2 within the next month. They said so.
Oh Lord.
Getting more into that. So trying to slowly make my way into that. Investing here and there when I can. Because with all that stuff, man, you gotta do it by yourself. You can't go off what other people say, because then you're gonna buy this cryptocurrency and then it's gonna drop and you gonna waste all your money.
And
so
that's what I was saying.
You gotta be careful.
That's why Tatiana keeps looking at me, and that's why when you be talking about it, I look at it differently, because she's never invested in anything. We haven't invested in any stocks. And so the danger that I feel is like people that don't invest already, they get into it and that's their first experience with investing. And then they think that that's investing. They think that that is like, like, oh, if my stock is going to jump up 10 times. And if that doesn't happen, then investing isn't worth it. So
no,
that's the danger that I feel like a lot of people get into with the Dogecoin is they're looking at Dogecoin as the end all be all of like investing. And this is their first time dipping their toe into it. And it's like, to me, that's unrealistic. To me, it's like, going to the store your first time on Black Friday, and then you go 2 weeks later and realize that this isn't actually the price that you're gonna get. Like that's a special occasion on Black Friday. That's not, those discounts aren't every day. And so I think it really undervalues investing.
It does.
If that's your whole motivation for investing.
I I do have a confession.
Well, it goes back
make.
to the. Go ahead.
I do have a confession to make. I secretly put $1,000 in Dogecoin back when it was 29 cents. Man,
No, she
What
did not.
happened?
man, let me tell you
She
something.
did not
Oh,
do
Lord,
that.
man. Oh,
You didn't do that. Stop lying.
See,
Stop
can we get
lying.
on with the podcast?
Anyways.
Her up on Dogecoin. She okay.
She
Well,
gonna
listen,
invest
listen.
that $1,000 in
I was
So-
gonna ask a
Dogecoin.
question.
I didn't do it.
Listen. So that's a part of the entrepreneurship, but a lot of people what's messed up about that is a lot of people want the instant gratification. So with any cryptocurrency, with any investing, it's going to be a long game. Like you might get something that jumps 5 times within a year, and then the next year it doesn't jump at all. So you got to know when to play the game. So for me, I'm just letting it run up. And when I feel like, okay, this is a lot, let me take half of this and invest it in other things. That's the whole point of that. It's not just I'm selling all this, give me the money, and then I go spend it on stupid stuff. I'm missing the whole point of me doing this because I'm gonna lose the bag. So
Right.
for me, it's running up. I'm like, okay, we running it up. Okay, let me see how much I can put into this stock, this, or things like that. People not thinking that way. People jumping right in and they want $10,000. They want 20. If it jumps up to $10, I'm gonna make a lot of money just off a $15 investment. But then it's all about what I do with that money. So there's no point. Like it's cool to hype it up and it's exciting, but at the same time, you gotta stay balanced because you get too greedy, you're gonna lose all your money, and you're not gonna like investing no more. So I'm not listening to nobody. I'm researching, doing my own thing, not feeling pressure to put money in, just letting it do what it needs to do, and we moving forward. So that's a part of the journey, though.
Nah.
Hey, but
no, I
don't listen. Don't invest right now. Let it do its thing, because I don't think it's gonna drop. Honestly, I think it's gonna go up more because Meek
You
Mill,
telling them not to invest in it, and you giving them look
Bro,
at
because-
her.
I think it's the
It's not-
fantasy of it that
yeah.
everyone's attracted to, and
There's
then
no
when
stable.
you don't get it. It's like that time and energy that you spent with the
Yeah.
Dogecoin thing. You could have actually been learning how to invest, and you know what I mean. It's just like it's like the hype thing, like you were saying, that we all jump in on something. Like you talk about Black Lives Matter, these social movements, all these things. A lot of these people don't actually know the research and the history behind these issues, but they jump on the nearest thing that gives them that feeling. And I think that that's what Dogecoin is to a lot of people. They don't actually want to understand stocks. They don't want to understand EFTs or ETFs or whatever. They don't want to understand any of that, bonds. They don't want to understand how to actually grow their money and create generational wealth. They just want to be like, oh, I invested this in Dogecoin and I made $10,000, and then what? And then what did you do with that $10,000? Because you don't understand how to invest. You put it here, but then it's gonna be gone even if you get it, because you actually don't know how to invest it.
I do want to make a note. Dogecoin is a fiat currency, just like the United States dollar.
Yeah, they talked about that. So the good thing, and we'll move on from this, but this is a part of the entrepreneurship, because what they're doing with the cryptocurrency is that they're going to make it to where certain cities are just pretty much cryptocurrency. So the place in the Netherlands is a city town, strictly cryptocurrency. So in New York,
Heard about that.
I don't know when this is going to happen, but they're going to have crypto ATMs. So people can do the crypto with the
have those
ATM and
here.
stuff. Oh, do they? Yeah. So they're putting them in cities. It's good
I
to
seen one the other day in the gas station.
it's good to get into, but like I said, you just gotta be smart and play the game. Don't be on don't buy $50,000 worth of Dogecoin, bro. Because that when I see that, bro, I was like, that's stupid, bro. You just wasted 50. I mean, you didn't waste 50 grand, but like, you're not finna make no money like Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin is rising. So do your research,
bought
man.
Bitcoin a year ago from today, it was like
I
around
wish.
$10,000, and right now it's trading at like, I think 60, 70,000. No, I think it's at 80,000 actually. It's somewhere up there.
It's running up, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's a long game. All that investing on the Robinhood app, that's a long game. You need to worry about bonds, IRAs, stuff like that, stuff that can triple in a short amount of time.
And you don't want to trade
But
on
you got to
Robinhood
research and play
either.
it right.
Because when you trade on Robinhood,
Nah.
you don't even want to mess with that, because when it comes to Dogecoin, you can't even get your money out of there. Like, you can get
I
your
like
money out, but you can't actually do anything else with the coin. So you're going to end up having to, in order to actually get your money and pull it out of this volatile stock, you're going to have to pay all these capital gains taxes.
There you go.
And so
See?
the only way to avoid that is to then take the money that you make off the Dogecoin and invest it into other stock portfolios.
Exactly.
Diversify. Once you make
Yep.
those big gains, diversify your portfolio. Like, once you start getting the feel like, I think people might start selling, or Elon Musk is getting quiet now, I don't know, or you just feel like, I made a good amount of money, I think I can start putting this into some ETFs or index funds or stuff
Exactly.
like that. That's when you start, you use this opportunity to create
Look
more
at you.
opportunity. That's what you should do. That should be the exit strategy. But I don't know how far people are thinking with this.
They're not thinking like that.
No, I've seen a lot of people that are just using Robinhood. It's like, do you understand that when you try to actually get that money out, you're gonna have to pay like 30%, 40% capital gains tax. You're gonna lose like half of that. So like, don't even use Robinhood for that.
That's
We
why I
are
only
not
put
financial
a little bit
advisors.
I'm not a
We are not
financial.
giving
No.
financial
No.
No,
Hey, this- it's a part of we're not financial advisors, but it's a part of the journey.
Yeah.
And what we research and what we're learning.
But legally, if you are not a financial advisor and you give financial advice and somebody takes it,
Right.
and then
They can sue
something
you.
happens, they can come back and be like, Tatiana told us not to use like Robin. Come back and be like, that's defamation, and do something like that. Like, if you try to give financial advice and don't say that you're not a financial
Good.
advisor.
I think it's
And
look, I'm gonna
I
let
want
you
to
know.
ask my
Look,
question.
Robin Hood, I'm
I
sorry.
wanna
Ask your
I'm
question.
not telling people to.
Patty,
We have
Fair
40. We have
pass.
40. Go
I
ahead.
just want to ask my question.
Just had to throw it in there, brother.
No, I get you. Tatiana will go on about an hour and the whole.
I like it
podcast
though.
will be
We gonna
about
have to talk. We gonna have to
fantasy.
talk about it.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay. The question I wanted to ask y'all was, what is your biggest failure in life?
Biggest failure.
I don't know about that one.
Medium chili? No.
What was yours, Tatiana?
In my whole life,
Yes.
in all,
I thought I heard something. I wasn't sure.
my biggest failure.
Meeting Fitz.
I don't know. No, that wasn't the biggest failure.
My dog almost said no.
I think what it was, I don't know if this is just me in the moment, but I feel like it wasn't keeping up with things that were happening, like memes and stuff. If I had
Memes?
kept
Like, you
up
wanted
with
to-
the memes- if I had kept up with the memes, man.
Dogecoin back
No, I never said it. I wasn't gonna do that.
Well,
I
he
was
tired
gonna
of hearing
keep
about
on
it, boy.
talking about the
See,
memes.
I'm talking about some real stuff, like real failure.
Okay, I'll go.
About fantasy Dogecoin. What are you? Okay, let's hear you, Shalisha, because she's not taking this serious. What do you got to say?
Is it like something you failed at, or like something that
What's
you,
your biggest
like,
failure?
I would say it would be wasting my time, like trying to figure out, like, instead of, like, now I know what I want to do with my career, but before I feel like I just dipped in a lot of different things that I wasn't necessarily serious or passionate about, and I feel like that wasted a lot of my time. So if I would have just got serious sooner and dedicated sooner and passionate sooner to figure out what it is I wanted to do, boy, I'm telling you, things would be a lot different.
What's an example of that, of like you failed at something that you were trying to do? Like the biggest, like a concrete example of like, I did this and it was a failure.
I don't know. I don't. In the most humble way possible, I achieve what I go after if I really put my all into it. So I don't know how to answer that.
What about you, Ty?
I don't look at anything as I failed. Besides like that little scenario of not being focused sooner in life.
Biggest failure, bro.
That's a good
I think the
question.
biggest thing that I wouldn't say is a regret, but listening to people's advice. So all the people that told me to go to school, go to college, go play college ball, do all these things. that was a lot of their dreams. What they didn't accomplish. I think, and I told my mom's this, like, I don't think I would have ever played football if there was other sports and stuff. But football is all we had in Florida. So I think like listening to people, I wish I would have thought more for myself rather than trusting people to lead me in the right direction. And just try new things and see what I really wanted to do. I wouldn't say I'm not happy where I'm at in my life right now, but I think I could have did a lot more with my time, took better advantage of it, and really focused in on things outside of school. Um, just because now that I've completed school, it's like what else? I've already hit this. What else? What else is there? I could have done a trade while I was in high school. Could have did that. Then could have went to college or something, or opened up my own business, whatever I wanted to do. So I wish I would have maybe took a different route or had the knowledge or opportunities. Single parent home. Mom didn't know anything. She working 3 jobs. She came from a poor family and stuff. So I can't really knock her for it, but I wish I would have had better mentors, I guess, because I got one now that is really solid, and I just wish I would have had that a little bit earlier.
I definitely think those things are important, and I think the reason I'm asking and what's interesting is all the people that have answered, there hasn't really been a concrete example of like, this is something that I tried and I failed at it. You know what I mean? Like, more of what I'm hearing is, here's something I wish I would have done, or a different path I could have taken, but I didn't take it. Now, the reason I'm asking this is I think that if it's hard for you to give a concrete example of something that you've tried and failed at, that means you haven't taken enough risk in your life.
Ooh, don't do that.
That
Don't do that.
I like that.
in some way living a comfortable life. Like, if you haven't failed yet, then I really think that you haven't taken a big enough risk. So
Right.
I don't think the successful people that reach a high level, they get there being comfortable, like, okay, let me dip my toe in. I think they get there by saying, you know what, I don't even really know how to swim, but I'm gonna jump in and try to do that. And man, I don't know if I'm gonna succeed or fail, but someone had to pull me out that pool. I was drowning and somebody had to pull me out that pool. That was a failure. But what I learned in that failure was how to be prepared next time, or like a concrete example of a time that you really tried something, you failed at it, like that. But it's a difficult question because we don't look at a lot of us don't take that risk, like that big risk. A lot of us make reasonable choices. We get into something that we think we're going to succeed at, and we do well at it because that's just what we do. But the reason I'm asking this, oh, there goes the camera. The reason I'm asking this is because I was talking to somebody, and it was like, I was just asking them, like, what is the biggest risk that you've ever taken? And that got me thinking, like, what is the biggest failure? What is your biggest failure? Because your biggest failure will let me know your biggest risk.
I do want to say something in what you were saying, because you mentioned concrete examples of failures, because I can think of multiple situations where I've done something, tried something and failed. But the question was, what was a failure? It was like, what was the biggest failure? So now I have to go through all my failures and compare them to see which one was worse than the other. And so that, I think that's where that extra level of difficulty comes in, is now you have to kind of weigh your failures and try to figure out what was worse. And I think that is it's a bit difficult for me personally. It's hard to, I just see my failures as moments of failures. I never really compared them to see which one was like the worst.
Well, I don't even want to say worst. I just want to say like the one that stands out, like this, I failed because I went so big, like everything else I'm doing was this, but this, I kind of stretched myself out and I failed at it. And that showed me what level of risk I was willing to take.
Ooh.
I got one.
All right.
So moving from Ohio to Colorado, I didn't know nothing about Colorado. I just came out there. Just because they want I ain't know nothing, boy. Just cause what'd you say?
I said,
What
okay.
he said? This guy. I came out there to play.
Over here now.
No, bro. No. Don't get twisted. So it has to do with football, man. Like I went to play college and I got a full ride in my first school. My advisor had quit and so did my professor in the first semester. So like I ain't had nobody. I'm a first generation college student and all that. Had a 2.0 because of that. And then they were about to cancel the football program. And I was in physical therapy at the time. So I ended up transferring. Was looking at this other school and I tried that out for a little while, but I ain't like that. And the reoccurring problem that I had was the football coaches. Like a lot of them tried to put me in a box with other people, and I wasn't down with that. So a lot of coaches look for people who have like average grades. They have a lot of hype, but they're not necessarily as smart. They're not hip to a lot of stuff that goes on. So for me, when I came to Colorado, everything was good. School was straight, 3.6 GPA, all that stuff. But it's just a problem with the coaches. So my college career didn't go how I wanted it to go. It wasn't that I wasn't good enough. It was more of I wasn't going to let somebody try to put me here when I was here. So going to Colorado, that was a stretch. Sold my car, didn't know nobody out there. Like it was just me. I was staying in Greenhorn at the time during the summertime. Moved a walking stick. So the first year it was really hard because it was just me. I ain't know nobody. Roommate was taking me to Walmart to get groceries. And then went overseas to play football. Ended up getting a concussion. I had a high ankle sprain, so I couldn't play the rest of the season. So I felt like that was a failure because I had worked so hard from this point to go all the way over here to another country. I went to Serbia, went to London, all those places. Went to Germany, sprained my ankle, and I was out, and I couldn't play no more. And then came back here. COVID happened, all that stuff, put all that on hold. But when I got back, I was like, dang, like it was a good experience, but it wasn't what I wanted. So I felt like I failed because I got hurt. And like when you have a high ankle sprain, you ain't that's it. You're done for the whole season. And I was only there for 4 months. We was only there half a season. So it was like I really lost out on the opportunity to do what I had planned. And I had another opportunity to go back, but I was too invested in things outside of that. I started to find happiness outside of football once I got a chance to sit back and really see what my life was like. So it was a gift and a curse, but I feel like that was a failure for me because I had this idea of what college looked like for me and what overseas football, that wasn't even a thing until my homeboy had put me on. But when I went over there, got hurt, and that was it, bro. Took me a while to get over that, for real. Because with football, man, you getting all the praise, you get all the fame, you get everything that come with it. The Elks. You get a lot of Elks.
Face.
I have a lot of Elks in Colorado.
There's a lot of models in
Tatiana,
Germany.
women, girl, women. That's what they talking about. Don't let these men lie to you. They talking about women.
We are not.
Yeah, bye.
There's Elks in Germany.
That's an assumption. Okay, Tatiana, you were trying to say something.
Go ahead, my bad.
You good. I enjoyed listening to your recollection of your experience going from Ohio to Colorado, everything that happened, and why that was your biggest failure, and what you were saying, and then what you were saying, Tyree, that helped me. Oh, Ty.
It's all right.
Put the whole government out there.
At least you said it right. At least you said it right.
Tyree is his name from college. He Ty now.
Okay, I don't
Put some respect on his name.
Dang, I didn't know we had an update. I didn't get the memo. I know now. I won't say it. I'm Ty. Ty. Okay. So
Yo, boy.
I have a bigger failure than not paying attention to the memes. Because this one I had already put money into it and it did not pay out the way I needed it to. Okay. So this is what happened.
What had happened was
She ain't listen to me.
it wasn't nothing like that. This is what happened. I heard about these dudes in my neighborhood, because you know where I was living, there used to be like parties every weekend, right? And so there was these dudes in my neighborhood, and they were selling tacos, and people would come to their house.
I didn't think it was turning into a taco conversation.
People would come to their house like Friday, Saturday night, partying, get all lit, and then want some food, right? And there's nothing really nearby, so they took advantage of that and started selling tacos. I heard these dudes was raking in like over $1,000 a night, selling tacos to students, just buying tacos. So I was like, man, they over here making money, getting all these returns. What? I'm over here like, man, let me try and get on this. So I came in with my little food stand. I tried to sell, but I tried to do it like carnival style. So I was trying to do like corn dogs. So I went out to Sam's Club at like, I want to say like, I don't know, $60 on some like bulk hot dogs, like the long foot long ones, and batter and trays to serve it in. Like I had it all set up. It was dope. It was looking cool. Man, I was ready to sell some corn dogs, but you got dog too. So I went out and got like one of them Cuisinart deep fryers. So I had everything. It cost me like $80 for the deep fry. Spent like over $100 on all this stuff. So I went out, bought all this stuff, and like, man, I'm make $500 in a night. These people gonna be hungry from all the drinking and whatever else they're doing, and I'm gonna make my money. So that was my whole plan. Man, I didn't sell not even one. I think I sold one corn dog.
She sold one.
I sold one corn dog.
Robert, did you buy the corn dog?
Get some stuff out.
No, I'm telling the whole story. Can I finish my story? The remix. Ain't no need for a remix. I'm gonna give you the original format. I'm gonna give you the .mp4. We don't need the MP5.
The MP4. I'm dead, boy.
I'm giving you the MP4 video. Look, I sold one corn dog, and that was one of my biggest failures because I put a lot of money in, and I did not get the returns I was seeking. I ended up stuck with this air fryer, and I still used it. I mean, we used it almost every day for breakfast and stuff. So it wasn't the worst thing to end up with. I fried food with it, catfish and stuff. So it turned out okay. And there were some other things too that I got stuck with, like skewers and stuff, but it ended up all getting used. I found a place for it eventually, but definitely that was one of my bigger failures, is because I just put so much money into it, and I just went, I went head first. I should have went to just like the local grocery store, instead of like a Sam's Club, and should just not endorsing Sam's Club, but any could have went to Costco too. And, I just
tripping, bro.
to the local dollar store and just got like the 7-pack instead of the 20-30 pack of these long corn dogs or hot dog things. I had to eat all them hot dogs, all the batter. I mean, them corn dogs was good though. I don't get me wrong.
Hey,
Okay,
man,
so
what about you, Fitz?
Let me interject. Okay, I need to give a little 1-minute recap.
What?
So,
It ain't gonna be no 1-minute rehab.
when she did this, I was there and I told her, why don't you start out small and see how many people you get the first night, and then go ahead and scale up from there. No, I got a feeling. What makes you feel that you're gonna get 500 people? I got a feeling. Do you even know if there's any parties tonight? Or do you know, like, have you checked the weather yet? Does anybody know? Where's your sign at? She gonna open the window and put a little, I don't know. She ain't did no marketing.
No.
She ain't did nothing.
I had a sign.
Oh gosh, I love you
A
too.
sign with the numbers on it.
And it's 10 o'clock at night and she making corn dogs still like it's about to pop off.
She hustling, bro. Hustling.
She up in there.
I love it.
She up in there. So I just wanted to add that I was there. I tried to advise. She did jump in head first.
Yeah.
And
that's the entrepreneur journey.
that's the dose.
There we go.
This guy.
Heard about somebody getting tacos. Instead of actually investigating and researching, you just jump. That's what I'm talking about with the Dogecoin. That's what a lot of people do. They see somebody else making money. It's like, well, I'm just going to throw my money in it without any idea of what I'm actually doing. Whereas if you take that time to investigate and study, you could actually do something great with it.
Exactly.
Get some flyers, put a thing on social media. Hey, I'll pay you
Yo.
$30 to give out some flyers to somebody or whatever. Like I think that there's ways to do it, but I do think it's a great example of a failure. I have my own story as well.
Talk your talk, boy.
So
Talk
you
your talk.
back if you want to get me
Well,
back.
I want to hear what you failed at. Let's go.
So my biggest failure, and this was when I was in college,
Ooh.
is not what you think it, Ty. No. Okay. My biggest failure was
That girl.
my
Just let
biggest
them do them.
my biggest failure
say
was
that.
when I was in college. I started doing the real estate, and the reason it was a failure was because I thought I would just get the real estate license and make all the money that I had spent getting the license and everything back. So I actually spent money that I didn't have. I took out student loans for the real estate license and everything like that to get it. And I was like, oh, well, I'll just make the money back. And this is a way to where, I don't have to go get some part-time job. I could just do real estate, and then one deal, I'll get everything back. So what ended up happening was I spent like $1,000 getting the real estate license all together with like the class, getting the local fees or whatever, and all that stuff. So I get it paid. It's about like August. So that year they just happened, and I didn't know about this. They just happened to make a new rule that everyone's license had to renew on the same day. So when I was studying for the exam, once you pass the exam and get your license, you have like 3 years to renew your license, 2 or 3 years from when you get it. Well, they just changed it to where now, instead of everyone renewing on different times or whatever, everyone renews this year, and then from that time on, they just have it on a cycle or whatever. So I had to pay to get my license, and then in 4 months, I had to pay again for everything again. So I paid like $1,000 to get everything. Then by December 31st, I had to pay another like $700 to keep my license active. And if I didn't do that, then they would make my license inactive. And then on top of that, when January came around, I had to renew the realtor board fees or whatever, because they start at the beginning of the year, and I had to spend like $600 on that. So these are all costs that I did not expect up front and was not aware of, but it was just like, I didn't end up closing any deals in Colorado. I never made that money back, and I spent money that I really didn't have because I just wanted to jump in and do it. But had I have saved that money or whatever, then maybe something else would have happened. But I learned from that, because then I was able to get my real estate license quicker here in Texas, and I knew all the material, and I could just jump in. So that was a positive. But at the same time, that was, something where it was like, I really didn't have the money to do it.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
I'm
the opposite of all y'all.
When we
Because
jump
I
into
stayed.
go ahead. Sorry,
Oh, no,
go ahead.
When you jump into
Jesus.
the what?
Go ahead.
She done already said she ain't never failed it.
Yeah, what you gonna talk? You gonna match right now?
Yeah.
No, that's why I said I'm the opposite of all of you guys. I didn't take risks. This would be like probably the biggest risk that I've taken. Like all these steps is the biggest risk. I was just staying in my comfort zone, climbing that corporate ladder. And so like I never really, like there are things that I would dibble and dabble in, but it wasn't really a risk. Like I wasn't risking nothing. It was just like, we'll give this a shot. We'll see how this goes.
How don't you see somebody else controlling your life as a risk?
Well, now that like looking back, that is, but like as far as like, I would say, I don't know. I don't know. Like I just feel like I wasn't as invested in myself, I guess, or I was just settling for that comfortable level.
Because because when you think about it, everyone thinks that being an entrepreneur is risky, but I actually think having like a 9-to-5 is riskier, because at any moment someone can come in and say you're done, and then you have to go try to find something new. Whereas if you're an entrepreneur, you know, if something doesn't work out, you still have all those skills and that knowledge to transfer it to another stream of income. That's what entrepreneurs do. They solve a problem. So you still have all those skills. So everything I'm learning in real estate, I can transfer to this business because it's pretty much the same. It's just a different subject matter, you know, like
right. But my mind wasn't in that place to look at it back then. So I wasn't looking at it like I was taking a risk by staying in the corporate world and working that 9 to 5. That's not how I was looking at it. I was looking at it like my resume bomb. Like I never had an issue getting a job. So I felt like I was like, I'm good. Like if I get fired, then I get fired. I'll be able to find another job. I never had an issue being able to find another job. But at that time, I wasn't looking at it as a risk. I was like, I'm stable. So I was comfortable. I was settling. But now, like getting into this journey and taking this risk, like if this doesn't go the way I plan, this could be one of my biggest failures. But I would say this is the biggest risk I've taken in my life.
Interesting. Before we jump into the discussion, there was a quote I heard, and it really stuck with me, and it was something similar to what I'm gonna say, but you know how you talked about a year ago you was in Colorado or however long, and you weren't selling no houses, and now you pretty much got the cream of the crop. You feel me? Like you
signing
back to back to back to back, you know.
2021.
And even if they not like, you know, big, it's still consistent. You feel me? So there was the quote said that sometimes life will sit you down because you aren't ready. And in turn, like, and basically what you aren't ready means like you don't possess the skills go into the season that you're about to go into next. So you jumping into real estate, you was excited, but you weren't ready. You didn't possess the skills that you have now back then. I don't think so. I'd say you were ready, like mentally you were excited and stuff like that, but I don't think the Robert now that's in Texas would have been the same in Colorado. And not to say that, you know, you trash or nothing, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't think that you were fully evolved yet and fully developed.
I can agree with that. I think
when you got to Texas,
it was
man,
over.
It like I'm not gonna be like, oh, he rich, he balling, but you consistent with it, man. And like I feel like you could potentially be one of the top real estate agents in Texas for sure. But I don't think you possessed the skills back then. Just like your sister, she wasn't ready. She didn't possess the skills to move out to real estate. None of that stuff. Same with me. Like I left Colorado, had the best year of my life, and then I felt like I backtracked, but I wasn't ready to step into the next season of what I was about to go through. I didn't possess the skills to be able to handle that in order to be in that moment and move forward.
I do want to say I agree with not being ready, but I think with the skills, I think I had the skills. I just think I didn't have the will. Like
premature.
I was immature in the sense of, and this was something I was talking
premature
about today, is I was like, when is the money gonna come? And I think I went through all of that, and you know, because I never gave up. I never made my license inactive. I never stopped. Like I was willing to spend my last dollar just to keep my license and everything going and to keep the business running, which I pretty much did. The only reason we had money, you know, was because of COVID, and then they gave the stimulus checks. Like I was literally down to my last like $300 or $400, and we were using that to move and everything. And then the stimulus check came, and I was like, "Yep, this is a sign," because you know, like how it's crazy that this has never happened before, and then all of a sudden, when I'm down to my last few $100s, now there's a pandemic and they giving people free money. You know, like it was just, you know, like keep going, you know, because I think a lot of entrepreneurs fail because they're worried about going broke. And Grant Cardone says something that hit me. He said, you know, like if you got a few $1,000s, you're pretty much broke anyways. He said, why not just make it official? You know, like,
Hmm.
why not just make it official and spend that money on yourself, like invest in yourself so that you don't have to stay broke. And that's how I started looking at life. You know, before I heard that, it was just like, I was always so worried about the money that it was nerve wracking and I couldn't actually focus on what I wanted to focus on. But when I got down to my last $1,000 and I made a decision, like, I'm going to keep moving forward. Now it's like, I didn't even check my bank account. It was like, I know what I got in the back of my mind. I'm not going to overdraft and stuff, but it is what it is. I'm going down with the ship, and then the ship is almost down, and then someone comes with the lifeboat and it's like stimulus check. And now it's like, okay, this is a sign. Now I can keep, you know, doing what I need to do in order to do, you know, like, and I spent part of that stimulus check on getting the real estate course for, you know, for Texas and stuff like that, and living off of that. And that was the seed for starting in Texas. So it was just, you know, I think that when we came to Texas, it was more so, you know, like I had been sat down and I wasn't as focused on money. I was focused on what I needed to do every day to succeed. And then when that started happening, there was, you know, there wasn't even worries about, oh, I'm about to spend $100 on this Facebook ad, or $100 on this Instagram ad, or $50 on this course, or whatever on this course. It was just like, oh, I don't even look at this as my money right now. Like, I'm not taking ownership of the money. Like, this belongs to the businesses. This belongs to investing for the future and paying bills and all that. Like, this isn't actually my money at this point.
It gets you caught up too, though. Because, like, I think a lot of people, when they do get money, especially like you 18, you finna make $14 million. A lot of them get lost because that money, and then they stop grinding. They stop remembering what they actually went to the league for, or real estate for, or what they went to school for. They forget why they wanted to get the bag. So when you say focus on money, that's what I think about. Like, you forgot what you was really doing this for. You was doing it to create generational wealth, family, stableness, whatever the case may be. And you had to sit down, and now you really living what you wanted.
Not quite.
Man, you know that. You know what I'm talking about, boy.
Right.
Nah, it's just, I'm like, my vision is so much broader now. You know, like I'm sitting here thinking about how to get rid of 20,000 and turn it into 60,000 by fixing and flipping a property. You know,
Right.
like I'm trying to figure out how to, you know, get it to where the real estate deals are even more consistent, and how to get the blog that's going to be started for FITZMINDSET to start generating money, and then the podcast to start generating money, and then, you know, build Tati up as a branding and marketing specialist and all this stuff. And you know, so I do think that there is a place to focus on money. I just think when you're starting out, you kind of just have to put that to the side and focus on the priorities.
Definitely.
Which that does get me into what I wanted to talk to you guys about today, before we close out. So I really wanted to,
we didn't do our petty or past.
We did.
We didn't do our petty or past, but there was actually another segment that I wanted to introduce today, but we're running a little short on time. So maybe I'll just introduce it next time. Or maybe I'll introduce it at the end, because it kind of goes with what we're talking about. So I really wanted to talk to you guys about balance in your life. And 3 different parts: the past, present, and future. A lot of times we hear you shouldn't live in the past, you should focus on the present and like plan for the future. Like, there's these generic things, but I think it's human nature to look at your past. I think it's human nature to look at your future. And I think it's human nature to try to be somewhere in the present. So how do you guys find that balance between focusing on the past, present, and the future?
I mean, I try to look at the lesson that I can learn in every aspect. I feel like they all go hand in hand with each other. But I do feel like that people get too focused on each of them, and that kind of throws them off. So for instance, for me, I would always dwell sometimes on the past instead of just learning what I needed to learn from that situation or whatever, and move forward and take what I learned to apply it to my present or my future. But then because I was dwelling on the past, I wasn't actually living in my present moment or even concerned about the future. Or sometimes I'd get too worked up on, okay, well, I got all this stuff going on right now, I can't think about the future. So I'm actually just starting to find that healthy balance between all three of those.
What about you, Ty?
Man, I say I got a balance right now. I like to live in the moment or present, whatever people want to call it. Um, while still looking at the future. I don't look too far ahead, like 3, 4 years, 5 years on the road. It's more like a short term thing. So 6 months, a year, maybe a year and a half, and just kind of plan different things. And as far as the past goes, just kind of celebrating the journey. What I went through to get here, and those trials and tribulations that I faced and how they got me to where I'm at now. So um, I really just try to live in the moment, man, and just be present, and whatever comes, just go with the flow. I still make goals and stuff, but I'm not like, got to be here by 5 years, got to be here by 10 years. Because I used to be like that. But now it's more of enjoying the marathon rather than trying to go from start to finish so quickly. I'm enjoying every mile. So I'm grateful for it.
Nice. What about you?
I love her.
Pass.
Okay,
What? This is not, what is that? Oh no, you cannot pass.
not deep like that, I
No,
guess.
I'll come back to me. I need more time to think.
My answer messed her up.
No, I'm pointing this out. All right. I be telling her to read them personal development books I get, telling her to research this stuff, because it can be hard to answer some of these questions on the spot because they're thought provoking. And
They are.
like a lot of our listeners as well, which I'm not throwing shade.
Yeah.
I'm saying a lot of our listeners, they may not consider these things outside of the podcast or outside of them being heard, but I think that in moments like these where it is more difficult to think about things, that's where you write it down or you put a mental note and then you come back to it and you study yourself on your own time. But that's for anybody watching the podcast. It's like, there's nothing wrong that you haven't thought these thoughts or whatever, but that's where learning comes into place. It's important to consider how your past plays into your present and into your future. It's important to, like Ty was saying, he was looking at 5-10 years in the future, but that wasn't working for him. And now it's working better that he's taking it a little more short term and going like that and figuring out, and there goes that camera again. Figuring out things, as it goes. Yep. We all have a different process.
Yep, exactly.
Me personally, I don't know how to not look in the future. Like there's not like a certain day or like by 5 years or 10 years this. It's more so, like what I guess it is, but it's not set in stone. It's like, I want to do this, and I guess I'm very impulsive when I want something. So I'll do a lot of research and I won't make a move. And then when I want something, I go after it. So like, we were talking about Clubhouse last week and then I just hit you guys up and I'm like, Clubhouse. Like that's.
I love the dedication though. I love that.
That's something that I want to do, but I wasn't sitting around thinking like, what's the day, what's the time? It's just like, I like to just jump into stuff. Like even with this podcast, me and Ty were talking about it for a while before we even started. And then one day I just hit him up and I'm like, hey, you down to do the podcast this weekend? Like that.
True.
It's like,
true.
It wasn't like, oh, let's set a date 3 weeks from now to do this. It's just like, okay, I've decided I want it. Now let's get it, and that's where I'm at right now is, if I want something, I'm going to go get it.
Yeah.
And if I want it, And if I don't get it, then that just means that I didn't want it enough, or, you know, that's a sign to me. But I think that I have found a balance as far as, you know, I used to look at the past, but in a negative way. Like I would look at things that people said to me or things that people had done to me, and I would just, you know, be petty, you know, like I would think about ways to get them back, or, you know, I'd be thinking like I come up with whole scenarios, like if I run into this person, whole anime situation where, you know, I'm the cool dude. Somebody says something to me and I just remain calm, and I have like this speech laid out in my mind of how I'm gonna, you know, be smooth with it, and it's gonna, you know, if they swing on me, I'm gonna do this and do that, and, you know, like negativity. And then it wasn't until I actually got to college and started living on the dorms that I started living more in the present, because that's when I had nothing. So I kind of just had to let it go and just be like, okay, I have to trust in myself to figure this out. And I think that's what living in the present, a lot of people, it scares them, is because when you're focused on the present, you kind of have to figure things out as you go. And when you're focused on the future too much, it's easy to say, oh, well, I haven't failed yet because the future isn't here yet. You know, like somebody was telling me, here's my goal for 3 years. Like in 3 years, I'm going to start doing what I want to do. It's like, that's too much for me. You know, if you got to wait 3 years to do something, you might as well not even do it. For real. If you got to wait 3 years to do something, you know, like I don't even like waiting in a drive-through. I'm not waiting 3 years for something, you know. I don't like waiting for my direct deposit at 12:01. It need to be in there. It's like, I just don't like waiting. So when it comes to goals and when it comes to what people want, I just say go after it and figure it out at a later time. Be reasonable and organized, but go after it.
You made a good point about focusing too much on the future, because I felt like with the football, it's always about the NFL. That was the main focus. It was like, you know, F college. Like I ain't worried. I'm trying to go here. So when I did go to Germany and all these places, I probably could have took a little bit more advantage of them, but I was too focused on the end goal rather than enjoying it, and rather than enjoying the journey, because that was my goal and that was my plan, and I made it there. But I was too focused on that I almost didn't enjoy it, and I almost just forgot about it. So that's interesting, and that made me reflect, because it's like, dang, bro, like I almost didn't enjoy what I set out to do because I was too focused on this.
Yeah, that's real, and that's actually
crazy.
Living in the present is how I met Ty.
Yeah.
Because I was living on the dorms, and somebody that knew someone he knew, they were like, you want to go chill at this person's house? And then I went over there, and that's when I met Ty for the first time. And so had I not have been living in the present, and I was just like, oh, I need to figure this out and figure that out, I never would have went over there and met him. And then on top of that, it's like I'm already a reserved person. And Ty, he like them questions. He's in social work, so he like digging for questions. So he actually has conversations with people. I'm not used to having conversations with people. So he'll have a conversation like, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? What do you think about this? And we'll just have conversations. But at first, that was unusual for me, because where I'm from, you don't really talk about, you know, things, you know, like you just kind of deal with it and whatever. And then when I hit him up and it's like, what do you think about this? Now I'm hitting him up. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? Do you think she like me?
Hey, we be on the phone for almost 3 hours, but I'm like, dang, bro, I gotta go, bro. Hey, bro, we was some fools in college.
I agree.
At one point, his girl was like, you always talking to Fitz. Who is it? Fitz.
They was jealous of Fitz. They was jealous, bro. Golly, man.
So what makes you guys special?
Wait, I didn't
Everything. Right. Tati didn't even get to answer. You just go and take her out.
Okay.
Okay.
What you got? What?
I'll make it. I know. I'm gonna make it quick, man. The quick is ever since I was a little girl, my great
Aw.
grandmother used to tell me from a young age that I had a lot of wisdom. And as I grew older, I saw, I saw what she was talking about, and she would point things out to me
Don't roll your eyes at her.
that look, I'm gonna ignore that. She would point
Yes.
things out to me that I did, and there were just things that I did without being told to do it. And I came to learn how rare some of the things I did were for someone my age to pick up on and do.
Yeah.
And I feel like from a young age, I've always had this really good balance of remembering my past, but living in the moment and being present in the moment and appreciating where I was and recognizing that this is a point in time that will never happen again. And so for what it's worth, all the good, bad, and ugly, I should try to take in my surroundings and everything and try to remember. My thing was always trying to remember where I was and what it felt like and the smells and the sounds. And that's something I still do to this day. And just to wrap it up, I've always had this thing where I I look to the future, but I recognize that if I'm loving what I'm doing in the present, it will all fall into place.
I can attest.
That way.
Okay, I done been triggered. I done
What?
been-
No, let's not go.
Man,
No.
now
What makes you special?
What makes you special?
What makes
Right.
you
What
special?
makes you
Okay.
special?
What makes you
Robert, what makes you special?
Okay, what makes me special is I remember this one time where Tatiana.
You gonna tie it back in
Nah,
that?
what makes me special?
Right.
Um,
Come on now.
I just want to give some context for this question of why.
This guy.
Okay, so the reason why I'm asking what makes you special is because growing up, I always heard like if somebody does something, like let's say somebody's like, "Hey, can you give me a ride?" and then you say no, and then they complain about it or something. It's like, what makes you so special? Or somebody does something that you don't like, and it's like, what makes you so special that you can talk to me like that, or you can do this? So it got me thinking, like, I've never actually heard somebody say what actually makes you special. Like, what is special about you in the most humble, realist way?
Shalisha.
Go, girl.
What makes me special?
Lies. No.
Robert. Tati, I'm gonna be there. It's
Go ahead,
okay.
Tati. Go ahead.
I got you, girl.
I'm
What
waiting
makes you
on
special?
man. I'm waiting for you.
Go ahead.
Space already for you and everything.
You
What
gonna break
makes
this chair.
what makes me special is our faith.
It doesn't matter what makes you.
Yes, say that.
Thank you.
Tati, keep going, because I was waiting for that answer. Keep going. I was waiting for that answer, girl.
What
Keep
makes me
going.
special is that I'm me and there's no one else
Special
like
ed.
me. There's only one Tatiana.
But
In the
what
world.
makes you
Period.
Tatiana?
What makes you special, bro? That's
What makes you Tatiana?
Me.
But what does that mean?
Girl, I feel you.
What does that mean? Like, if you had to say if you had to say, this is what I have that nobody else has, what is that?
If you were a Powerpuff Girl,
Oh,
Would you be the pink or the
I
purple?
got it.
what
When
would be
I
mixed?
was 3 years old, I said I was from Townsville. Powerpuff.
From
Oh,
Townsville?
yeah, that's what makes you special, bro. All right, you got it.
You're going places.
That was just the Powerpuff Girl reference. But what really makes me special, that I haven't come across someone else that is like this.
Sell
yet.
yourself.
Sell
Sell
I'm
yourself.
selling myself.
This is why
Only
Yes, sell it.
Only
that's why I'm special.
Well,
Do that.
special is my ability to slow down and flow with any situation. You can put me anywhere, and I will figure out a way to flow. Flow is actually a thing. It's a psychological term, and it refers to someone who is able to put themselves when they're doing something or in any moment and be in the moment and just zone out and just like be in the moment. And that's something that I think people can struggle with. Some people are just, all over the place on the fritz all the time. And, I think that's something that what makes me special is I'm really good at just flowing. Like I'm walking along and I see some flowers and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop and smell the roses.
Yes.
Beautiful. Just beautiful.
That was great. Yes.
Shalisha?
Yes.
Shalisha. What makes you so
Yes, Shalisha.
special?
Everything.
What's
No, specifically, my heart. I'm a very caring
As
and
cold as
passionate
ice.
person. Yeah, I mean, I really do. Like, the way that I care for people is not your average, especially nowadays, especially with people in my, I guess you could say, age bracket. But I'm a very caring and passionate person. And I've had people tell me, they'd be like, you know, it's one of your greatest flaws, but also your greatest weakness. But I don't believe that.
That's the
Because
same.
if I didn't have the heart that I had, then wait, what?
You said it's one of your greatest flaws, and it's
Strengths. Yeah, so it's one of my greatest strengths, but one of my greatest flaws. But I don't believe that, because if I didn't have the heart that I had, I wouldn't be who I am today. So yes, it stands out. And people tell me all the time it's rare. I know, girl, I know. It is though. Like, I do. I'm a very compassionate person. Like, you can, like, it's ridiculous. No, they not.
Yeah, Elks told you that you were rare. Interesting.
There they go with the elks, girl. Ain't nobody talking about no elks.
You were saying you wanted to be a hunter, so it's all good.
I never said this. That was y'all and Robert.
What makes me special?
Can I have to be an elk?
Hey, bro, get your peoples, bro.
Can I be a condor?
Look,
what
you
makes
don't
me
be
special?
nothing, Tati.
So we finna run out of time.
That's your
What
time.
makes me special? That's a good question, bro. I'm not finna be on no sentimental like Shalisha, but
it is what it is. I was about to curse, so we just go.
I say my ability to impact people's lives. I leave a mark on every person that I come in contact with.
I know this.
This guy got the magic, you feel me? Call me 50 Cent, right? Just my ability to leave an impact on people, bro. Whether that may be good or bad, it's up to them to decide. And just have good moments with people, man.
You know, you leaving marks on people's life when you banned from saying somebody's name.
Oh, bro.
Yo.
What?
Nothing.
Y'all missed it. We've been through a lot, bro. We've been through a lot.
Hell, I could tell.
Girl, I don't. I'm just clueless. I'm right there with you.
Hey, that's what makes y'all special. Y'all clueless. Fitz, what makes you special? Robert?
Yes, I think that what makes me special is let me see.
Come on now.
There's so much that I think makes
this guy.
But you better pick one, because originally I said everything and you guys wanted specifics.
I'm picking.
I'm the whole package, boo.
2 or 3. Okay. Well,
I didn't know we could do that.
But nobody said you couldn't. You limited yourself, not me.
No, I didn't.
You said you was a snack size bag of chips. Robert saying he the family side.
No.
I'm the extended.
No.
I'm the
right. No. No.
I'm the daddy with 10 kids, and you don't know about 8 of them size bag.
Let's not.
Hater.
Right.
Hating.
What makes me special
Girls,
is my ability, my foresight, and my intuition. I have very good intuition, and I think that much like Tatiana with the wisdom, I was also born and have honed in this sense of wisdom. I think that I really think since a young age, I've been able to handle things that, from what I've been told, other people my age wouldn't have been able to handle in the way that I handled them. I think that my intuition has guided me to where, what was difficult for other people in terms of like, oh, I struggle on whether I should give in to peer pressure or struggle on this or that. I've always had a light, you know, that guided me, and I kind of just did my own thing. And so, you know, like there was one time I remember where I was in Denver, and I was creeping. I was I was I was chilling with somebody and secretly trying to get with a girl. Okay, I'm gonna be real.
Wait, what? Hold on. What?
I was chilling with someone and I was secretly trying to get with a girl.
Dang.
And this was Tatiana.
It was Tati. I think I know who he's talking about. And it was like way pre Tati.
This was pre Tatiana. And I was there. And
the disgrace.
But I was chilling with them. And there was this dude, he was like a gang member. And he was chilling there. And he was telling me, he was just like, yo, I look up to you. You're on the right path. He's like, I see there's something different about you. I don't see people like you every day. He was like, I'm a killer. He was talking about he's killed people and stuff like that. I'm a killer. He said, but I still see that you don't fear me. And he was just like, I want to let you know that I look up to you because you're not out here trying to be someone you're not. But at the same time, you're so comfortable and real and true to who you are that you can be in these projects with a bunch of people who really aren't doing anything with their life and still, you know, be comfortable or whatever. And I just think that my intuition is my gift. I think I have very good senses, and yeah, that hasn't failed me.
That way.
Shalisha be saying stuff.
You got a minute 20.
Okay. Tell me yes or no.
Okay, so I do want to introduce this last segment while we still have a few minutes. So instead of the practical pieces of advice, I want to introduce this new segment. It's called Today I Would Have. And pretty much what it is like throughout the podcast and future episodes, when I say today I would have, that's a segment where if you had all the time and the resources and money, this is making that assumption, today I would have, and then you fill in the rest. So if you had all the resources, time, and money, today I would have done what? Tatiana.
If I had all the resources and money and time today, I would have invested in Dogecoin. And I would have put lots of money in it. I would have put like $1 million. Let me tell you why. But
she's so happy.
A mil?
I would have put more. Oh, I would have put $1 million.
She would have put the whole thing in there, bro.
I know it's gonna go up. I know something y'all don't know.
But see, why not? Why not put that money in your family business?
Yeah.
Right. Why not start something for your children?
Yeah.
We talking about gambling.
I would say
ETF with a
what
jump.
You got, Ty?
I would say obviously create the businesses that I want to create, buy the house in the mountains like I want to, or the nature or whatever. And bless people in the process, man. Help people, you know, in a way that I can eliminate some of their problems just like the blink of an eye. So, yeah.
Nice. What about you, Shalisha?
I don't know.
You know where she going.
Get the F out of Vegas. Today I would have. Yesterday I would have. I would have been gone. I would invest more in myself and different avenues that I want to pursue in life. Give back to my family. You know, I want to help them in any way I can, but I got to get there first.
And me.
Yeah. Anyway. Anywho.
Oh, here
We're not about to play. Robert, today you would have.
So today
you alive?
Let me see. Okay. So
we don't fit into that category.
I had all the time, money, and resources. Today I would have set up 10 investment properties for everyone.
He was talking about Tati. What?
10 investment.
Everyone though?
For everyone in my family.
Okay.
10 investment properties for everyone in my family.
That's a lot of property.
Yeah, 10 investments for
Just
everyone in my
saying.
property, but they would have been in my name. So it's 10 investment properties for everybody in my family. I would have started an institution that was Black owned and Black operated, mainly a school. And I would have, let me see. I would have found a way to get this podcast out to as many people as possible. And
I love it.
And let me see. I would have taken $2 million and paid Ty to come up with something petty to do with it.
I'm about to play with y'all.
Boy, I'd be so petty, boy. Ooh.
You gotta find something petty to do with it.
I would.
$2
Girl,
million?
Yeah.
No, right? Why you need $2 million to be petty? You could be petty for free.
Nope. You know what I could do with $2 million to
Or
be
you
petty?
could be petty for free.
You know what I could do with $2 million to be petty?
Y'all don't.
No.
Buy a what? Girl, what you said?
Buy an elk? I don't know.
Hell yeah, boy.
You'll buy
Yeah.
Felicia an elk. You're gonna buy her an elk and put it outside.
Look, Shalisha don't need no help in getting any type of elks. Thank you very much.
That's a lie.
Nah, okay.
I don't need no help.
I was gonna
Both
name the
types.
podcast last
We
week.
good.
Shalisha said she was 100% honest, so I was gonna name the podcast Honest Elk.
C's the best policy.
It's gonna be Honest Elk.
Oh.
All right.
Tati, you see the one they named it Edges? Like, girl,
Who? What? Huh? What happened?
they named the podcast Edges and then Edges Part 2.
Yes.
Really?
Her edges
Yes,
look-
girl.
They look like
It's okay.
slopes.
I've been on the YouTube. I didn't even see it.
Hey, you can ski on them edges, but
Yep.
Sure can.
All right. So make sure you go like the podcast, comments.
Don't wait for them
Yeah.
curls to pop out.
Out on YouTube at FITZMINDSET. Watch out for the blog coming
Tati, what you doing?
soon. Come on.
Tati, what you doing?
Come on.
Are my edges good?
No. Okay, come on.
Dang. I didn't know. I thought it was.
hey, bro.
I didn't know. I
Hey,
don't
bro,
Alright.
like,
I'm not about to play with you. Tati, it's
See y'all
okay.
next
I'm going to show you how to do the edges.
And we're out
from the bottom.
from the bottom.
From the bottom.
Stop.